Budget coolers with screens. Sounds like a scam, right? You either pay big money for flashy AIOs or you settle for something plain that just gets the job done. That's kind of like what we've been taught, right? Self-taught. Learned? Accustomed to. But this thing, the Thermalright Frozen Warframe Pro is sitting there at under 90 bucks. Rocking a built-in display RGB and a design that looks straight out of cyberpunk mod. So here's the burning question. Is it actually cooling your CPU or is it just showing off with pretty lights? Welcome back to Level Up Gaming, and if you're new, welcome to the Level Up Gaming. This is where we break down the gear, the games, and the grind so you can play smarter, flex harder, and keep leveling up every single match. And can I just say before we start, you're looking sharp today. What'd you do? You did something new, didn't you? That glow, if you will, bouncing off that headset, clean. You've got the vibe of someone who knows exactly when to push the rig to the limit. Work it. Today we're digging into a cooler that's got people talking. Thermalright's known for the budget air coolers that punch way above their weight. But this is their step into the big leagues. Liquid cooling with style. We've put it through the test. Guys, stressed it, pushed it, maybe even tried to break it, pushed it, punched it. Got into a high school fight with it over our high school girlfriend. Well, to find out if this is the budget AiO you can trust to freeze your CPU and still flex on your friends. But here's the kicker. The results, they might just surprise you, all right? Picture this. You're scrolling through budget AiOs and just a sea of boring. Black rectangles, basic fans, maybe a weak attempt at RGB if you're lucky. They're designed to just work, nothing more. But then, boom! The Thermalright Frozen Warframe Pro jumps at you. All white, bold angles, a cybernetic vibe that feels like it should be part of a custom PC mod showcase, not a budget build. Okay? And then there's a screen. Oh yeah, a screen on a cooler that costs under 90 bucks. The kind of feature you expect on units double or even triple the price. And that's where the problem starts. Because when something comes this cheap, without selling your soul, and it's dripping with style, your gamer brain goes straight into detective mode, right? Where's the catch? What's happening? What do you gain out of this? Did they cut corners or did they cut performance? Are the fans weak? Is the pump loud? Are we looking at a poser? All lights and no fight. That's a conflict right here. We've all been burned, right, by gear that looks amazing on paper but collapses the moment you push it, right? So therefore, we decide to treat this thing like the enemy. Too good to be true, they say. Push it, stress it, and throw workloads at it. That would make cheaper AIOs fold. Brother, this is where it gets interesting. On AMD systems, the Warframe Pro actually came alive. You did, didn't you? You did. Temps under load were solid, not chart topping, but definitely in the this is working zone. It felt like a local rock band suddenly owning the stage, you know? Not Metallica selling out stadiums, but a bar packed shoulder to shoulder with people headbanging because the sound is that good. The Warframe Pro isn't just rewriting the rules, guys. It's performing with confidence, right? But flip the coin and put it on Intel, and the story changes. Here, it lands in the middle of the pack. Not the worst, not the worst we've seen, definitely, but certainly not the best. Just that consistent squad man in your Warzone lobby who won't win MVP, but also won't cost you the round. Because at this price, middle of the road means reliable, and reliable in cooling is a win for budget builders, always. The noise? You'd expect budget fans to scream like a jet engine on you. But the Warframe Pro sits at a conversation level. Not whisper quiet, not silent like a ninja, but chill enough that it fades into the background. You are chill. You can game, stream, and edit, all while forgetting it's even there. Now, let's talk about that screen, because that's a head turner, at least for me, right? At least for us here at Level Up. Most of the time, these gimmick screens are logged behind premium coolers, period. But here, Thermalright gives you a taste without taxing your wallet. You can display temps, stats, even memes if you're feeling cheeky. I mean, is it essential? No. No, it's not. Is it fun? Abso-freaking-lutely, okay? Daddy loves his memes. And fun is part of the point when you're building a rig that reflects your personality. So where does that leave us? Hmm? With a cooler that looks premium, acts respectable, and still has quirks. It's stylish without being ridiculous. It's like your friend that is like too good looking but dresses like a little bit off. Functional without feeling stripped down. And that combination is rare. Because normally, budget coolers play it safe, right? No screens, no bold colors, just functionality. The Warframe Pro dares to cross that line and bring in features you shouldn't even be getting at this price. Okay? Don't be spoiled. But style and first impressions only take you so far. You don't buy an AiO just to stare at it. You buy it to protect your CPU when the heat kicks in. And that's where we dig into the real test. Performance under pressure. So design can hook you in, but performance? Ha! That's a deal breaker. You need it to fight heat, hold steady during gaming marathons, and keep you from watching your CPU throttle down mid-match. Here's the thing, the Thermalright Frozen Warframe Pro doesn't fold when the pressure's on. On AMD systems, this cooler's a beast for its price bracket, okay? Load up your favorite AAA game. He doesn't care. Push those scores. She doesn't care. And the temps stay under control. They don't care. It's not miracle level cooling, but for something this affordable, it punches up like it doesn't know it's budget gear. But swap over to Intel and the cracks start to show. Like I said, it's not failing, it's not weak, but it does settle into a very average lane. That's where he gets scared, you know? An average in this game means you're not topping the charts, you're just existing. Therefore, the big question is average enough?
That's what she said.
For enthusiasts chasing world records and pushing CPUs beyond their limits, probably not. But for the everyday gamer, streamer, or even a parent building a Roblox rig for their kid, average means stable. Average means reliable. Average means no drama, and no drama is sometimes the most valuable feature of all. Now, let's discuss noise. Because a cheap cooler can survive a thermal test, but ruin your sanity with fan scream. Like I said, we've all heard those rigs that sound like they're about to take off, but the Warframe Pro, surprisingly chill. Right? That means while you're mid-clutch, you're not fighting your hardware's roar. It blends into the background, seamlessly. You get immersion, you get focus, you get peace of mind. You can hear your own thoughts. Performance isn't just about raw temps, it's about value per degree. Thermalright knows this, and that's why they price a Warframe Pro at $90. When you divide cost by cool and delivered, it scores a 4.3 value ratio. That puts it right up there with, and in some cases above, AiOs that cost nearly double. That's the kind of math that budget builders love, okay? Dollars per degree. It sounds like a meme. When your wallet's on the line, that's a calculation that matters. Expectations. That's a dangerous fight for a budget cooler. Because while the Warframe Pro can hold its own in raw cooling and noise, it doesn't have the software polish, the ecosystem lock-in, or the same overclocking ceiling as the premium heavyweights. It just doesn't. And that's fine. But it creates this weird battlefield where Thermalright is fighting giants with a pocket knife. Therefore, this is what makes the Warframe Pro special. It doesn't pretend to be a giant. And it doesn't need to either. It doesn't promise world records. It doesn't promise he will call you right back in the morning. It promises good cooling, low noise, and some flashy features at a price most people can actually afford. And it delivers exactly that. That honesty, that balance is what makes it trustworthy. It's not flashy performance, but it's reliable, and reliability at this price is gold. While performance might win the battles, it's not the only war being fought. In 2025, aesthetics are just as much as a weapon as thermal graphs. Thermalright is betting that gamers in 2025 don't just want function, okay? They want personality, flex, and a little bit of show-off value in the rigs, you know? You want to show off. I mean, look at this guy, It's not shy either. That glossy display sitting right on the pump head gives the cooler an instant premium look. You swear you're looking at something from NZXT's Kraken series or Asus ROG's Elite line. The Warframe Pro gives you that middle ground. It won't drown you in customization options, but it does enough to make your build feel alive. The style doesn't stop at the screen, though. Okay? I mean, look at this. The Warframe Pro leans into the cybernetic all-white design. They're available in black as well, by the way. But we love this white one. It's not screaming in rainbows and unicorns. It's restrained RGB. Taste solid. More like a neon accent strip in a well-designed gaming room rather than a carnival of colors. And that restraint is smart, because budget hardware usually tries too hard, flooding you with LEDs to distract from cut corners. Here, Thermalright seems to know their lane. You don't want to be playing while having like a little bit of a seizure attack there on the left. Or right, depends on where you have your setup. They don't hide behind RGB, they complement the hardware with it. Perception. When something this affordable looks this good, people start doubting it. We did. There's no way it performs. It's all smoke and mirrors. That's the enemy the Warframe Pro has to fight. Skepticism. A very bold one. And if you've been around PC hardware long enough, you know it's not an easy battle, right? Therefore, the cooler's real win is that it doesn't just rely on the screen and RGB to sell itself. Yes, it's flashy. Yes, it gives you and your build a unique vibe. But when the numbers back it up, when temps remain stable, when noise stays low, suddenly that screen stops feeling like a gimmick. It becomes a bonus. It becomes a part of you. It becomes a part of it. It's a cherry on top of solid performance. Now let's get real. This is not the kind of screen that's going to let you run entire animations or live stream Twitch channel to your pump head, Forget about Crunchyroll and Dragon Ball Z while you're playing. But if you're expecting that level of insanity, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. What you're getting here is basic but effective. A screen that makes your build look more expensive than it really is. Bragging rights. For a budget gamer, that's gold. Because half the fun of PC building isn't just using your rig. It's showing off. Here's the part that gets me, though. When you step back and look at this bad boy, right? The Warframe Pro in a full build. It doesn't scream budget. It blends. It belongs. It holds its own visually against setups with hardware that it's twice its price. That's not easy to pull off, I'm telling you right now. And it's why this cooler has people doing double takes. Oh, that's sank. In the end, style is never enough on its own. Screens crack, RGB fades, and aesthetics evolve. What doesn't change is whether or not your CPU is safe under load. And that's where the Warframe Pro walks a tightrope. It's playing in two arenas. The functional, where it has to prove it can cool and be the fun, where it tries to be the life of the party. Balancing both at this price point, that's a gamble. And that gamble works. But what happens when you push it harder? When you step beyond casual gaming and into the territory of heavy overclocking or workstation loads? Oh, that's a moment where the screen stops mattering, where aesthetics step aside, and where this cooler has to prove whether it can survive the deep end or just simply doesn't. That's exactly where this story takes a sharp turn. So we've covered the looks, we've covered the performance, and we've even given the screen its spotlight. Well deserved, right? But here's where things get serious. Every piece of hardware has them, right? And the Frozen Warframe Pro is no different. If you're the kind of gamer who lives on the edge chasing every last megahertz out of your CPU, let's be blunt. This is not the cooler that's going to help you shatter records. It's just simply not. Yes, it has some overhead for mild overclocking. Yes, you can bump your boost clocks and not feel like you're juggling fire. But if you're trying to hit insane voltage numbers or keep a 14,900K running ice cold while rendering 4K footage, the Warframe Pro isn't your weapon of choice. That's a realm of high-end triple fan AiOs or custom loops that cost 3 to 4 times more. But, and this is an important but, most gamers aren't chasing those extremes. Most gamers just want to play their favorite titles, maybe stream, maybe edit a video here and there, and know their system isn't cooking itself alive. Therefore, the real strength of the Warframe Pro isn't in breaking barriers, it's in lowering them. It makes features like a built-in screen, tasteful RGB, and a quiet cooling available to people who never thought they'd get them under $100. This changes the game because once you normalize premium features at a budget price, suddenly the competition looks overpriced. And that's a kind of disruption that makes big brands nervous. Now let's talk stability under stress. We ran the Warframe Pro through torture tests. Workloads no average gamer would ever sustain. It didn't flinch. You didn't, did you? Huh? It didn't crush the benchmark either, but it held steady. No thermal runaway, no unexpected throttling, no pump screaming for mercy. That's a sign of a cooler that knows its lane. Doesn't try to be a heavyweight champ, but it also doesn't collapse under pressure. But that balance is what makes it trustworthy. And then the expectation creep, right? Once you give gamers a taste of premium features on a budget, they start expecting more. More software control, more customization, more brute force performance. And when those things aren't there, the Warframe Pro risks being judged by standards it never claimed to meet. It's like holding Rafael Leao to Cristiano Ronaldo standards.
Fight!
That's the danger of over-delivering in one area. People assume you'll over-deliver everywhere. Therefore, it's important to see the Warframe Pro for what it really is. An affordable, stylish, functional cooler that's designed to hold your system steady without drama. Okay? Not a custom loop. Not a flagship AiO. The Warframe Pro is like that underrated character in your favorite game. They're not broken. They're not OP. But in the right hands, they shine. I'm looking at you, Link in Super Smash Bros. If you're smart about your build, it gives you more than what you paid for, which is rare in this industry. But here's the thing. Every underdog story has a twist. Oh yeah. You knew there was a twist with us. Come on, you knew. Where are you going? Because while the Warframe Pro proves you can get style and stability without breaking the bank, it also exposes a bigger question. If budget coolers can deliver this much, what excuse do premium coolers have for costing triple the price? And that's the conversation we need to have before we wrap this up. So stay right here, right? The Thermalright Frozen Warframe Pro, not flawless, but for the price, it's way better than it has any right to be. On AMD, it's a legend. On Intel, it's steady. And style-wise, it gives you that showcase rig energy without draining your bank account, right? You do. Now, here's where I need you. I need you. If you've ever wished your cooler could double as a meme machine, hit that like button right now. No shame. No shame. We've all been there, right? And if you know someone still running a stock cooler that sounds like a hairdryer, share this video with them. Save a CPU today. Save your friend. Come on. Stop embarrassing yourself. What would actually put on that little screen? Temps? Anime loops? A flashing get better aim message just to roast yourself mid-game? Come on. Drop it in the comments. I want to know. I'm going to pin the wildest one. You can bet your petunias that I will. You've got that gamer energy that makes the whole room shift. If you were standing right here in front of me, I'd probably be asking you for build advice, even your autograph. That's how sharp you're looking right now, okay? And hey, if you stuck around this far, that means you're already level up family, okay? Subscribing just makes it official. Come on, put the ring on it. And while you're here, might as well stay. Click this video, or that one, on the best gaming monitors 2025, from 4K OLED monsters to 360Hz esports beasts. We're covering the screens that'll make your setup feel brand new. Keep playing smarter, flex harder, and of course, keep on leveling up. We'll catch you on the next one.